Hi-oh, beaver! Away!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Critscast as we enter the knockout stage of the 7th Nations Cup in ETF2L to find out who is the best country at playing 6v6 TF2. It is the round of 16. These teams have qualified through their groups and now battle it out to try and reach that elusive final. We have two nations here, one who finished first and one who finished second. One corner we have previous juggernauts Sweden, who have always been a nation to contend with some different names on their roster these days, but definitely one of the favourites in the mix. Coming up against them are Ukraine, entering the playoffs for only the second time in their history, managed to overcome Romania in a tiebreaker right at the end of the group stage. Only one of these teams will go through in this best of three, covered here on Critscast. I'm CeeJaey, joined by the legendary one and only Beta, with Wiethoofd on the productions. Beta, are you hyped to see your Scandinavian brethren come up against Ukraine today?
Yeah, I'm hoping they can kind of redeem the Scandinavian crew here, because yesterday Denmark lost to Poland, so hopefully this is going to be Scandinavia getting one back at the scary east of Europe, So I'm definitely hoping that they can do it. Just looking at the roster, it's definitely favored for Sweden. They have a lot more just recognizable players that have more Prem experience and more high-level experience overall. So on that count, it just seems like a no-brainer that they're going to win. But that's also what I said yesterday, and I left that sorely disappointed. So
yeah, absolutely.
You have to be careful with these kind of predictions.
I was a bit shocked after my scrum yesterday to take a look at the game going on and thinking, hang on a minute. But yeah, the beast from the east definitely troubling Scandinavia at the moment. Are you talking about the Prem roster there? You're talking about Beats. Do you want to take us through the Swedish team?
Yeah, sure. So on Medic, we're going to have Classy, who's actually one of the... I don't think I've ever heard of him, so that should be interesting. And then we have Smear on Demoman, very good Demoman, obviously. Plays currently on the second best team in Europe on Swift. Then we have Swee on Scout, and then Viljak as well on Scout. And then, curiously enough, we have another Scout player, but this time around, he's actually on Soldiers. That's going to be Alba on Romer. And then Pocket's going to be on Kaya. So that's pretty interesting. Kind of one of the things I really love about the Nation Cup is that when you make a national team, you can kind of, like, if you have a bunch of good players, like, they might not necessarily match up perfectly with two Scouts, two Soldiers, a Demoman, and a Medic. So sometimes you just have to kind of make do with what you have and put people on off classes and see how well they can do with that kind of roster. And this is what we see here. So Alba's going to be on Roma. So that should be pretty interesting to see how well he does.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I know Ireland were talking about that, struggling with a team full of Medic and Soldier mains. Quickly taking a look at the Ukraine rosters. We are live here. Got Nakari and Muku on Scouts. Boshi and Soldier... Soldier partner will be Ihor. Boshi and Ihor on Soldiers. I can't talk. I'm too hyped. D-Toad is on Demo. And we have O on Medic. So I don't know whether these are kind of different names or whether these are the same players who played in the group stage. We do see an aggressive mid coming in from Sweden early on. Viljak takes down Ihor. Nakari's actually in on Classy, but Viljak cleans him up as well. 2 kills already. There we go. Swee, the scout partner, cleaning up as well. Onkaya, the only casualty here for Sweden. And it's pretty much a wipe here, Beta. I think somebody disconnected from the server for Ukraine.
Yeah. That's not how
it's going to be a huge Uber ad.
Yeah. Fight. He got destroyed so thoroughly that he's all the way out of the server. And Sweden, they're actually going to go all the way until last year while capping out second. They'll take down the sentry gun. That's a pretty nice pick off there. That means they don't have to bother with that once the actual push comes in. And also the drop, I think it was after the mid-fight, so that wasn't really a factor in there. But we're going to see a big Uber push coming in here. They're going to just try to push everyone back into spawn, and if they don't do it, they're just going to get killed. There's a Py-bun point, but he's very weak, so this is looking great for Sweden.
I mean, Viljak and Swee are just farming at the moment. It's just Ukraine are trying to get close to that blob of Swedish players, and they just can't. They just can't. The scouts are just hammering them down. Absolutely insane accuracy from the 2 Swedish scouts there, and they seal off the round very, very quickly indeed. 1-0 already on Gullywash, just to iterate before we start, or continue I should say, this game. Gullywash was in fact picked by Ukraine, so this is their choice of map, and Sweden coming out strong already on their opponent's choice. Smira is going to get pressured down here by Nakari, has to back off a little bit, but Viljak's there again, but gets taken down. Third death of the game for him. Onkaya this time has to come in, and Smira is just going to land the pipes, and looks like
Clash is being pressured though. Actually goes down, so this is looking like it could turn around in favor of Ukraine as Smear gets ambushed by another scout. Going to be up to Sweet to come in and save him, cannot do it in time, but he's dancing around up on this high ground. No, a nice rocket there from Ihor, so they actually kind of adapted really well here, the Ukrainian team. Last time around they had a lot of trouble with players getting behind them, and then they just all got kind of pushed into their own choke and just taken down as people just jumped forward. They had like the Alba Roma just completely pressuring them into the choke, and then they just got completely destroyed. And this time around they stayed together a lot more and made sure that nobody could get behind. So sort of jumps in here onto the medic, gets him. Wow, Alba on the Roma, he can do that as well it seems. That was a really crucial medic pick.
That was huge. He did that high bomb up from the balcony, and he actually had time to land 3 rockets before he was taken out. Really poor kind of cleanup and protection of the medic there. I'm just taking a look at Boshi, who's actually going along river. He's just going to get mulched there as Onkaya and Viljak sandwich him in river. Nakari trying to get some pressure in big door here, get some decent damage down onto Smira, but can't force him out. And the conch comes in from Ihor here, so he's going to try and contest second point alone. Probably not a great idea, and does get cleaned up. So no soldiers for the time being for Ukraine, and Sweden are going to have a huge uber advantage there. But there, you know, we saw a really good adaptation on the mid fight from Ukraine, but on second, oh no, Classy goes down.
Oh,
was that a drop?
Yeah, it was definitely a drop. He just shot him down really fast. I don't think Classic quite respected his ability there, and he got punished for it really hard. So that was just a complete messy fight, and it looks like it's going to end with basically everyone dying. Everyone who survived was just the people that stayed out of middle. It's going to be a bit of pressure here onto second. It looks like Smear might not even try to contest it, or maybe he's just going to wait for some other players to come in here. Yeah, it looks like that's going to be the case here, as he will try to put on some pressure. And there's actually 2 scouts here as well, so that might just overwhelm them. And yeah, they didn't manage to actually get the point captured out, but the repush should be good enough here, so the Swedish scouts continue to impress.
It's almost like they're awaking a sleeping giant or something. You know, the Swedish players got a little bit relaxed after that first round, and now having to try. I mean, talking about good teamwork from both teams, but you see the individual plays coming in there, you know, making it work. As Onkaya goes for a big bomb in deep, just trying to pressure them out of the choke. He does so well. Alba then exchanges with him to go forward. So he now moves over to the flank, gets some pressure onto Nakari, and yeah, it's really difficult for Ukraine to contest it. Even though they've got 1 player advantage, the Ubers are so close. Sweden could push off the dot here and maybe cash them out, but not sure if they're going to want to. They can just slow it down a little bit, wait for a pick, and they're just overwhelmed with the numbers. They're pushing big door here, Beta, and they might be able to sandwich them here.
Yeah, Sweden, they kind of threw away a little bit of an advantage there. Now they lose Viljak as well, and Alba going down, so yeah, even cuts in the Uber force. That scout running in there in a car just doing so much work, and yeah, they're just going to completely leave Smear. He's like, nah, Classy, he's just going to try and get out of here. And looks like he might even succeed. Yes, grabs the scout and gets out of there. Great job by Classic to actually get out of there, but he did have to just completely leave Smear to his own death there as well. So probably worth it, but that scout just running into the combo and just getting away with it, that was really well played there by the Ukrainians. And Sweden, they probably want to have like a scout or a soldier with the medic there to make sure that doesn't happen again. But we're going to have another push here from Ukraine.
Yeah, they're just trying to push forward here. They're getting decent damage down, and they have control of second, essentially. Muku and Ihor have come in through the choke. They have some cap time going down, and the rest of Ukraine just trying to control big door. But you see Sweden are trying to contest it. Viljak, furthest one forward, a big bomb in here. They're just trying to recapture this now. They've got to be careful. D-Toad's behind them in lobby, but they might try to go for a backup, but they realize that they do not have time for it. They're going to have to back off here and essentially just let Sweden recap that for free. But very kind of tentative from both sides here. They don't really want to full commit, because when they have fully committed to these exchanges, it's not gone, you know, swimmingly for either side.
Yeah, there's actually a banner.
Casualties.
It's a, oh no! Ihor was just holding on to that banner for the longest time, and then he got jumped and he just released the banner and instantly died. So that's not how you want to use that banner, that's for sure. And Boshi will get taken down there as well. So that was kind of the ace in the hole, just getting completely eliminated immediately there for Ukraine. That's really unfortunate for them. Sweden currently have pretty bad heals, but they do have a man advantage and some spawners that will come in pretty slowly here for Ukraine, so they could move in if they want to. They're already in through Triok, and looks like they're going to go in through big door here. Albert going to jump in very aggressively, just shutting down that big door, and that's going to be a second point going to Sweden without having to use their Uber. And even 2 nice kills here from Smear.
See, I've watched a few games from Ukraine so far this tournament, and they have decent players, and they have decent potential for the teamwork there, but Sweden are just being so aggressive, they're not giving Ukraine time to set up. I say that Detail has picked up a couple of kills there, and Ihor actually takes down Alba, so an Uber gets forced, or they gets traded, and Sweden have lost 3 players out of it. So Ukraine giving Sweden a bit of a taste of their own medicine, just being aggressive at any point. Detail going to push out from lower here. And they're just cleaning up these stickies. Should be able to recap this for seconds. Sweden don't have the manpower, and they drop Sui as well. So, Ukraine just deciding to hold that W and just walking through, and it's working out well for them.
Yeah, Sui, I don't think he quite got the memo there that everyone else was retreating. So he just got out way too late. But no! The Ukrainian medic gets taken down. Onkaya just jumps in there and takes him down as he was in the big door right before he got to Zuba as well, I think. And then everyone else is just getting slaughtered. There's a single soldier in choke just kind of fighting a 1v1 against Onkaya. That's Ihor. He's trying to build that banner as well, I think. So he's on a bit of an adventure, but everyone else is just dead for Ukraine. So the second is definitely going to fall. It's just a matter of can Ihor cause any trouble here, as maybe he's going to just go back to last, but that looks more and more unlikely as he gets found out.
Yeah, it's really poor. Like, if he'd managed to get onto someone there, might have been good, but as it is, he's just on a late spawn now. No soldiers for this defense. There is a sentry and a heavy, and the medic is just going to get focused here. Os finally goes down there eventually, as does the heavy, and that is just an absolute slaughter. That is how you convert a clinical push, with an Uber advantage onto last. You just walk in, you get the focus targets down, and then it is 2-0 to Sweden. Slightly longer second round, and if we're going to be continuing the curve, this should be a pretty intense even round beta.
Yeah. Sweden did a really good job of just constantly picking off players before they got the push in, so when the push came in, it was really great. And look at all the pressure on Smear. He actually gets Boshi, but he's gonna taunt and get taken down. That's, I hope for him he thought that was worth it, because that was pretty silly. And eventually it looks like the medic will go down here for Ukraine, and there's going to be a single scout trying to make his way through 2 scouts trying to get to the Swedish medic, but no. Classy, he will stay safe here. So there's going to be a mid for Sweden again. And the medic survives, and they have 2 scouts as well. That's basically like the holy trinity of players you want to have alive after a mid fight, the 2 scouts and the medic.
Oh, as a medic main, there's nothing I love more than having both my scouts alive, and I can just zoom around and just clean up everyone after a mid-fight. It's just, that is TF2. That is perfect TF2. But yeah, huge Uber advantage again for Sweden here. They're at 90%. O is only at 20. So I'm expecting Sweden just to push through any time now. You can see the soldiers jumping in. Boshi takes a rocket. He's going to get cleaned up here. Viljak just coming in and finishing up. But look, Nakari in from behind. Oh, this time around, he doesn't get them that much pressure onto Classy, who is going to hold on to that Uber. 50 HP. So it did take a fair amount of damage there.
Oh, the Ukrainian medic is so weak as well, though. Extremely weak, just barely survived. He was down to 10 HP. And even a second sword to come in, but there goes Smear, finally finds him as he comes in with you. It was so close for so long that he was going to survive, but no, eventually just the pressure from Sweden was too much. Sweden are trying to get in here, but Nakari is not making it easy for them. There we go, eventually they will take him down. It's going to be 3-0 for Sweden. Not the cleanest push I've ever seen, but great pressure onto the enemy medic to make him eventually die.
Yeah, I think a little bit of kind of preemptive pressure there. They had this huge Uber advantage. They didn't really need to start throwing bodies at the medic to get him down. I think a couple of players died there early on before the Uber was even used, but in the end the DM wins through for Sweden, and we're coming on to the 4th mid fight now, and Smear gets so aggressive this time. He's the one getting aggro in the choke, takes down Nakari, and Boshi's going to try and catch him out. It does take him down. He's going to taunt back. No, he dies before he manages to get that BM revenge, and the medic goes down to Sui here. He's picking up a couple of frags. He's going to get any more. He's 1 HP. He's 1 HP, Vita. Viljak is so weak.
He was just hiding in banana, just just please medic, please arrow me, and then people just like eating his arrows as well. So eventually Sweden, they will survive. They kept their medic alive as well. That assaulted forward to make sure that no sentinels were like being preemptively built. So just there's really good pressure on Sweden whenever they have these advantages. They just kind of poke forward and make sure that no big things can be set up. And they're not losing players doing it, which is a really crucial part, because a lot of players will go forward and then just lose players, and it's going to be really easy for the enemy team to just kind of stabilize. But Sweden have been really good at just keeping it safe as this Uber is going to come in.
Yeah, this is looking pretty good from them. Getting good pressure onto the demo, chasing the heavy into the dark under area there. Viljak just standing on the point, and there's no one to contest him there. And he's going to manage to cap that out. Just to point out, Nakari switching off of Scout onto Demo, running the Quickie Bomb Launcher, and D-Toad going onto Sniper. And that looks like they're switching it up here. They're switching up to their kind of process product lineup, where D-Toad plays Sniper and E-Hall plays Demo. So this is the lineup they use on some maps where they run full-time Sniper. So obviously you're trying to switch things up to see if it will work here on Gullywash. They're getting very aggressive, but Alba comes in, huge damage, takes down 3, including the medic. Can he get any more? Smear is going to get a couple as well, and that is a full-on wipe. Swede, the only casualty there to the Sniper during that mid-fight, but Alba just opening the doors there and letting his team walk through.
I really feel like it was a mistake to try and go aggressive up on the right side from Ukraine when they had a sniper. Normally you want to be a lot more passive, because you're kind of a player down, like, in a sense. You don't have another scout absorbing damage, it's the evade tank. And Sweden again, they're really pretty far forward, and looks like as Onkai will actually get picked off this time around. No, he will survive, and so will Smear. Sweden just so good at keeping players alive. Alba's going to come up onto the point now, though. He's going to put pressure on it. There's Pyro, but Pyro's pretty weak, but a nice reflect. Will actually just keep Alba down, and there we go. Alba's going to die to burn damage. Sad times all around, but Sweden, they still have the Jupiter advantage, and that's going to come in now. Going to try and focus down the sentry gun, but it's only 2 scouts, and it's being repaired a long time. There we go. Finally goes down, but I think Sweden has lost a lot of momentum here.
Yeah, they've kind of not really done well in this push, but they're trying to re-push underneath here, and if Ukraine are unaware, this could be very, very successful, or it could go horribly for the Swedes if they're aware of it. And I think Ihor is, he's throwing some stickies behind. Nakari is on the chase. They're going to sandwich them here in underneath. It's just Classy and Smira, and they just get burned alive. Nakari on the Pyro, he takes down Alba with the flare. It's actually Muku, who picks up a couple of the frags there. Viljak still, he's like hiding in main. So he's going to maybe try and go for a back hit. D-Toad is there, but he has a face full of Pyro as well. It's not going to be enough. So basically, Alba going in too early there, I felt. You know, getting the trying to get the pressure on the point. Then they push 5v6 and they don't focus on the point. And they don't focus on the
shock, but he gets spotted there. Nice little spot from Muku. Will shot that one down. But yeah, you're definitely right. It was a little bit too premature there by Alba. Looks like everyone's just going to be completely pressured out of the choke here from Sweden. They still run this Pyro, who's now in alone against an entire team and just survives. All right, Nakar is just invincible on the Pyro, it seems. As Ukraine is going to come in, put a lot of pressure on the Victor. They've actually run some players behind as well. Classy has been jumped. There is an Uber coming out here, and Classy is on 50%, but he does have a scout with... Oh, what a pipe there from Ihor. It's going to really take him down. It looks like switching it up over Ukraine is really paying off right now.
Yeah, I feel maybe Sweden lost a little bit of concentration. Just Swedo! Swede saves it. Can he get any more? He's still alive. He takes down another. He's taking down the sniper, the medic, the demo, and he survives on 3 HP. I mean, this man does not need HP to win fights. He just needs to be alive, and he's going to win the DM.
I just want to point out that having 3 HP and 1 HP is functionally the same, because nothing in TF2 does less than 3 damage. So just he's the 1 HP warrior is what he is. And there's a Pyro again, just not being taken down. It's just going to bounce players around. The car is in onto the medic. Finally he goes down, but he does so much damage. The medic dies. Alright, okay, he didn't burn to death, but he did get killed by a roller in the end. I have a feeling he was going to burn to death, but no.
If that was a default roller from a normal grenade launcher, it wouldn't have killed him.
Oh,
but
really?
because of the less fuse time on that iron bomber, as soon as it rolled on the ground, it just exploded just as Classy was trying to escape. So, unfortunate timing, I guess, but huge advantage for Ukraine again. And I think this kind of bit of a Highlander thing going on here, as we've got one of each class, Pyro, Sniper going on as well. I think maybe it's just going to be a bit frustrating for Sweden to play against. You know, they just want to seal it out, a nice 5-0 nice and quickly, but Ukraine are starting to pull something back here, and they have a chance to seal off a round here. They have a big Uber advantage, about 100% now, and Classy nowhere near his Uber.
Yeah, there's a sniper in main, but being pressured by Wiethoofd didn't quite hit him. Hitting a stationary sniper is difficult, I guess. The Pyro's in the water now. That's always dangerous because you can just air blast everything off the point. There's a sentry gun, but now the Pyro's on the point. He's just going to air blast everything, and he just gets it. Wow, that's some sneaky Pyro play. Perfectly played, but Sweden, they need to be a little bit more careful and play accordingly to this Pyro. They're just completely wrecking them right now. It's kind of embarrassing, to be honest. That's not supposed to be possible.
It's not supposed to be possible, but it does look like Ukraine are going to continue doing this. So D-Toad still on that sniper, having played the first, 4 rounds on demo. Ehor now on demo instead of soldier, and Nakari playing pyro instead of scout. He stings a flare straight across the point, so Sweden are going to be aware. Alba, though, takes down the medic straight away once again. Really huge bomb coming in from here. Sweet and Viljak are trying their best to deal with the Pyro. Nakari has gone down, as has D-Toad. So back to just the regular 6s classes now, Beta. There's only 3 of them for Ukraine, but 4 for Sweden. And again, the 2 scouts are still alive.
There was a really crucial bomb coming there from Onkai, jumping out of the drop down. Oh, they've caught up the medic here as well. Ehor not able to escape, he's just gonna get bounced away. It's really unfortunate for him. Having his stickies there would have really helped out when they go in. they see this Pyro, they're just like, you're gonna go down. We have scouts, and they're just gonna Uber in here, Sweden, going all the way into last. They're just gonna go straight for the point. There's no stickies on. It's just gonna be this one soldier gonna try to block him out. Everyone's just diving onto him, and except for this one soldier, he just gets shot by Alba. No big deal. That's gonna be Sweden bringing it back. So I don't know what happened there with that Pyro round, but it looks like Sweden, they just went, okay, enough is enough. We're just going to shoot you down now with our scouts.
Yeah, Sweden had enough of all of these shenanigans now. And Ukraine come to mid with another different lineup. Nakari still on the Pyro, but D-Toad now playing Scout instead of Sniper. So playing 3 different classes so far. Alba with the huge bomb again. Doesn't get a kill though this time. Decent damage on everybody in that check. They're so weak. Smira is going to finish off Ehor there with the pipe. And then comes on Kaya with the bomb. He gets some good damage as well. This is where the Swede Scouts needs to come in and go for the cleanup. But it's actually Smira who gets so much damage done. He takes down the medic. Just walking in there and laying stickies all over the choke. Only Muku left alive here. He is going to take down Smira. But Viljak is one step too far for him. And Ehor the only respawn there. D-Toad respawning on the sniper. But pretty dominating. Again, you just see kind of the waves go in, where Alba goes in, does a ton of damage, then Onkai goes in, does a ton of damage, and then the rest of the team just swarm over them and clean them up.
Yeah, really strong mid here from Sweden. They just staying together as a blob with the exception of Alba going in very early. That was probably a mistake. Didn't really seem to play out too well with what the rest of the team is. There's a bit of a trap in the locker room, and with the soldier and some stickies, but oh my god, Alba's gonna go down there immediately, and Ehor will even get smeared as well. So this push from Sweden, this could definitely go wrong. They have him within a single scout, but a single scout is very difficult for him to just kill everything. They even have a heavy. You saw that work out yesterday really well with Poland against Denmark, but yeah, when you lose 2 before the Uber even comes in, that's a lot more difficult to make it work then. But they did manage to retreat in time, but it will leave Ukraine with an Uber advantage, and they're going to be ready to push out here.
Yeah, D-Toad now an engineer, so this man is just wanting to play every class so far this game. Nakari's still on the Pyro, so it might be better for them to push out. D-Toad actually catches Sui. His sentry on last catches Sui, trying to go for a bit of a back heavy, but Onkai respawned on the heavy. He's going to get taken down, not very mobile on the second point here. Alba's going to go in for a launch. Oh, it's very, very weak, and he lands one more rocket. Nakari's reflecting them away. Does take down Alba with the flames in the end. And that was a pretty successful push out, actually, from Ukraine. They pick up a couple of frags, are going to get the point, and they're only about 20% behind in the Uber, so they could probably decide to just dry push this here.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when you have this Pyro that's able to actually clear stickies due to his secondary. That's really nice. Monkai's going to come in from the side, though, taking down Muku. That's going to mean it's going to be a lot less easy to capture out the point. Soda jumps in here, takes down Ehor as well as everyone else was retreating. And you can just kind of see a couple of players being left inside there. from Ukraine. They just didn't get out in time. So a lot of them retreated in time, but the rest didn't. And this Pyro, he's doing so much burn damage right now. Jesus. Finally he's going to go down. But he did a ton of damage. Oh no, the medic goes down though. That's really huge. I think the medic was trying to save his Pyro there or something, but something is just not worth risking your life for. And he gets taken down, so this should be an easy push for Sweden.
It should be. They use this Uber here. Take a look at the engineer just in the spawn, looking through the window. Viljack is just going to stand on the point. I mean, that is TF2. You capture the point, you win. And Viljack just sits in the corner. Doesn't have to shoot anyone. Doesn't have to dodge. Just sits in another position where he's not taking any damage. And he seals out the 6th round win for Sweden. So we hit that win difference there with about 8 minutes to go. I mean, that last couple of rounds there for the last 7 minutes, I mean, it looked like we were going to get kind of a 15-minute map win for Sweden there. But Ukraine picking Gullywash and going down 6-1. I mean, this is what you predicted, Beta. But did you think it was going to be that kind of dominant, that quick?
I kind of thought it would be a pretty slow game overall. I'm not quite sure what I base that on, but just oftentimes players like to slow things down and then just kind of hope they can get some lucky picks and those kind of things. But yeah, let's look at some logs, and I have them open already. They'll be up on screen very shortly, and there's one thing that really jumps out to me, and I think you know what it is as well. It's Smear going absolutely bonkers, amazingly crazy. He has 469 DPM on Demo Man. Number 2 has 335. So it's just the huge Smear care with 29 kills, 9 deaths. Wow.
You just look at the KADs of the top 3 players there, like Smira, Viljack, and Sweet. They're surviving and they're just cleaning up. Like Smira is just doing insane damage. Like every mid, like I said, that mid, he just walks up there and he's just plowing stickies into the enemy team, lobbing them pipes around. Not only does he get the damage, he gets the kills. Top killing as well. 29 for 9. Absolutely insane. Sui and Viljack just cleaning up everything else. Viljack got 26 kills. Sui also hitting the 20 mark in 20 minutes. So, you know, those 3 just kind of playing around their medic and just doing insane work. I mean, you know, Alba and Onkaya, their kind of damage stats, their kill stats, they don't stand out, but that's because they were doing the openings. They were going in. You know, Alba was getting the med picks on mid. Onkaya was opening the way when the team was going forward. I think it was Alba or Onkaya, I can't remember which, managed to get that med drop on that crucial kind of second round as Ukraine were pushing. So, you know, the soldiers really kind of opening the doors, and Smira and Viljack Sweet just walking through and just destroying everything in their path. Not worried about anything else. I mean, take a look at the team stats. There is a huge disparity in the damage, about 6,000, about 40 more kills. You know, when you look at it, in reality, I mean, Ukraine just kind of got a bit outclassed there.
Yeah, you can also see it in the difference in Ubers, right? It's like 10 to 4. It's fine. Here we have conversion rate. 25% conversion rate there for Ukraine. That does mean that they had a couple of opportunities to do it, right? But Sweden is really good at pushing out and holding it. So, you know, it's not as one-sided as we might make it sound, but like it's 2/3 conversion rate for Sweden, so that's really efficient. That's pretty efficient, at least. That's normally what we see in these really good top-tier games. Whenever they push it back to last, they're really good at actually just eventually eking out the win without getting pushed back on. So, yeah, quite impressive there. But yeah, let's look at some medic stats a little bit more. So we can see, there's a difference in who got heals. It probably has a bit to do with how people change classes and stuff on Ukraine, but you can just see Smear getting pumped full of heals and definitely making the best of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell who the actual Pocket and Roma is on Sweden. When you see Onkaya and Alba taking pretty much the same, like they had 15 different heals between them, about 2.5k each. Where in reality, it's just Smira being in the Pocket with Viljack being his assistant, you know, and anyone else is just kind of being there and kind of sorting things out for them. But yeah, I mean, Alba getting 5 med picks. Again, just kind of opening the ways there. I think he definitely was playing more of the Roma style with Onkaya playing closer to the combo, just kind of launching through and being the eyes and being the initiator during a lot of those pushes. But the conversion rate is absolutely true. I mean, the last game I saw Ukraine play against Romania, teams had a struggle against them because of the fact that they kept changing these classes. They'd have an engineer, a sniper, a pyro. You know, there are players who are very capable on these other classes. And if you have that on a last hold, then it can sometimes be kind of difficult to break them down. You know, you have to deal with a pyro air blasting you in a 450 HP heavy, and then there's a level 3. You know, it's all these things kind of mount against you. But you know, the fact that Sweden have managed to win this in 20 minutes on Ukraine's choice of map, that leads us on to Snake beta. This is Sweden's choice, and how do you think this one's going to go?
Well, on one side, like, this is obviously Sweden's choice, and it should go better for them. On the other hand, this is a bit of a slower map. It's very difficult to do what Sweden was doing a lot of on Goliwos, was kind of keep on pushing and poke forward and making sure that you can't set up properly on last, and like taking down sentry guns, picking off players like constantly. Whenever they were like capturing mid, they were actually all the way on last already, just kind of poking and making sure that no one could come forward. And that's a lot more difficult to do on Snakewater. So at least it might be possible for Ukraine to kind of slow things down a little bit. But yeah, we will see as we are live here. If Sweden win this map, they are through to the next round, where they I don't actually know who they will face. I'll figure that out later, but take it away on this mid, CeeJaey.
Yeah, we see Sweden in the blue here, and Smira getting good damage on Detailed already. Just kind of being slightly more aggressive. Ehor going for the first initiation. Big damage onto Smira, forcing him all the way back. Boshi comes in as well. Gets a nice rocket onto Classy, but look at the Ukrainian medic. He served all the way up to the top there. It's going to be to his detriment, though. He gets cleaned up. Really unfortunate for him. And that's just an example of, on a Snake mid, that sometimes the team that has the good bombs and the good aggression...
There's a sneaky demo man that's Detoed. He's looking for the medic, but he finds only scouts, and scouts are pretty good at killing demos these days. Yeah, you gotta say. So that's unfortunate. That means the demo man's gonna be down for so long. The Sweden, they might just be able to walk into last. It's a little dangerous because of snipers, obviously, but you know, there's not gonna be stickies on these doors, and Ehor will get taken down immediately as well. So Sweden, just again doing this really great thing where they just kind of blob forward and then pick off a few players, and now they can just walk in. And so the demo man's only just spawned. Yeah, look how far in, how deep they are before they actually pop the super. Gonna go just completely juggling the demo man on Kaya, completely deletes the Detoed, and they are just taking down so many players. Putting the scout on the point is going to force everyone down there. Yeah, that's going to be a perfect cleanup. Medic's in spawn, he's not going to go out there. No sir, I'm just going to sit in here and feel bad. So Sweden take an extremely fast first round there off of a great middle and a really nice push into last.
Yeah, that was all Alba on Kaya during that last push. They launch in, get all the frags, get the sentry down, get the pressure on the point. Nakari typing in chat saying team 0 points.
Oh, yeah.
So he's the only one on his team who's actually got any points at the moment. So Sweden kind of killing everything and not dying, which if you manage to do that in TF2, most of the time you're probably going to win. As we come on to another mid-fight here, and not really aggression coming in, but this time Sweden are going to be the first to go in. Albert goes all the way behind. He's going to be a distraction. He comes face-to-face with Boshi, and Boshi does win that, actually. So Ehor is still alive. Nakari takes down on Kaya, so no soldiers now for Sweden. This is a reverse of what we saw earlier on. Ehor has gone down, but pressure coming in for Detoed walking across. Sweden have to back out there, and again, we're seeing the team that sends the 2 soldiers over first get cleaned up and lose the mid-fight.
Yeah, like they send Alba through really quickly, and then of course you're one player down until he can come back in again. And then there was supposed to be a bunch of soldier pressure coming in from Onkaya, but he actually failed his jump pretty miserably. Like he tried to do a big jump, but he just kind of went straight up into the air, so that didn't work out at all. As Detoed actually goes down, so that's going to be really annoying here for Ukraine. But yeah, basically just the soldier aggression comes in, but oh no, it's going to be a crit streak against an Uber, and that usually ends well for the people that can't take damage. Wiljack will manage to he actually gets 2 Boshi. Like the tail end of that crit streak gets 2 nice direct rocket crit kills, and this could be enough here. As they're actually just going to go in here. Boshi, he is on a spree, just going to surf up top. He's still alive. He's doing so much work. Hits a nice rocket onto the medic. Classy will surf up top. But Sweden looks like they have secured this fight, but you might see Ukraine come back in here. As that was just such a good result, all things considered, there for Ukraine.
Yeah, they're still getting frags. Muku takes some sweet. He was just a bit too far forward to get out in time, and that fadeaway rocket from Boshi just opening things up. He stayed aggressive. I think if the rest of his team had stayed aggressive, they would have a little bit more ground here, but as it is, they've held on to that mid point, And we take a look at O here. He's at 80% on his crit streak, only 50 for Classy on the Uber. Nakari's gone down, but it's a scout probably not going to be involved in this crit streak. And Wiethoofd is most likely going to be the recipient. He takes down Alba. Onkaya comes in, get another second rocket. He does.
Oh,
cheeky
Classy
360. Classy. Oh, it's Classy. He gets it. I thought it was Onkaya. Classy getting involved in the frags here, and Sweden kind of just nullifying the fact that as a crits you can't be invulnerable, so you know you don't have to play passive.
Yeah, it's just if you want to not die, that's you have to not die first, unfortunately, and he died. But yeah, just again, Nakari trying to go in there and be a hero, and we've seen this quite a bit. I feel like this is a really bad habit that Ukrainians have, because now the 3 players down where they could have been 2 players down, so that could have slowed down Sweden's push in onto second. So as it is right now, there's just no way that Ukraine can actually hold this, whereas if they had kept some players alive, like maybe there was a chance. Actually a back cap all the way in on last. Onkaya trying to go for the hero play, kind of just slithered his way in there, but instead of going for a medic pick, he tried to get the cap out, which was probably a bit of an opportunistic opportunity here, but we see a sorted young imp here. Alba tries to get the medic down. Oh my god, great surf there from O. Just barely survives. It's good lucky for him that there was no scouts following up or something. And Nakari has gone out, tried to do a counter sack, and he's going to die as well. So now Sweden, they're just pushing really aggressively on the left side.
Yeah, actually O's still on the crit streak, so I was going to say Balls of Steel there, but no, he uses the crits, and Uber is just responded to from Sweden. They're going to get in deep here. Nakari spawning on that Pyro, but can't get to the point in time. Sweden just swarm it, have the bodies on the point. And I was going to say O didn't use, despite going down to about 15 HP, but because it was crit streak, using wouldn't have helped him anyway. And like you were pointing out, the fact that Ukraine constantly seemed to be 1 player down because someone's going in for, you know, a bit of a hero play. They couldn't contest. They had to contest early because they were running that crits. And the longer you wait, the longer time you give your team to the enemy team to get Uber. And once Sweden had Uber, it was pretty much a done deal as we come on to another mid fight here. And Ukraine still running that crits to mid here, Beta.
Yeah, Onkaya's jumped behind through kitchen. Alba's going to come in here. Onkaya comes in from the back as well. Really nice sandwich onto the demo man. Goes down immediately. Sui is very aggressive over the top. And this has just resulted in Ukraine being pushed really far back out. Even though they lost 1 less than Sweden, they just lost so much ground that I think it's going to be a cap here for sure for Sweden. But no, Ukraine has actually come back in here with the crit streak as well. Just doing a ton of damage. It's a 3-on-2. Oh yeah, there we go. So Ukraine just making it work. They actually just lost so much ground, but Sweden, they just couldn't quite get it. And that's a really nice 4K there by Nakari on middle. Great job by him. But yeah, Sweden, they had a really good start, but they couldn't quite follow it up with some kills.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you know, they had less players, but they had good ground. But maybe just not expecting that crits to just be so ballsy from Ukraine, just doubling into them and cleaning up a bunch of plays. So Sweden in a bit of a precarious situation here. They're at an Uber disadvantage, running against a crits, 70% for O here. So there's going to be crits in about 10 seconds or so. And Sweden's still holding far forward, so they're not scared. They want to meet this crits head on and just deal as much damage as they can as Wiethoofd and Co start coming towards the grass area. Crits is going to be ready any second now. Onkaya goes in for the big bomb, but no. Oh, it's just baiting his team. Backs out to survive. Sui and Viljak are going to pick up the 2 scouts.
Here comes the crit comes in. Oh, 2 kills so far. Smear and Sui have gone down, and Viljak as well. Classy's being jumped by a sword, but perfectly dodging every single rocket. He's just taking 0 damage. So there might be hope for him to get out still. He's still taking 0. Still taking 0. What? How is this possible? He just out DMs Bashi so completely. And looks like Sweden will actually just end up winning this DM fight. And then he even gets a kill. Classy going absolutely huge there. Just perfect dodging. And poor Bashi, man. Must just feel like he's trying to like shoot water, basically. He just dodges out of the way.
If he'd managed to kill the medic there, that was pretty much game over for Sweden for that round. I feel like Wiethoofd and the medic were on the second point, but Sweden are starting to push back now. Eeyore goes in deep, and it does get Classy. Medic down for Sweden, so now another advantage for Ukraine. And O is all the way back, still running that crit streak. And it's going to give them a bit of advantage, but they're 3 down. Sweden are just gonna go balls deep here and just DM it without heals. But knowing they're only coming up against 3 players, but Wiethoofd with the pipes takes down Sui. Onkaya has to come in and get a bit of aerial superiority over the medic. Can O go down? Yeah, Viljak is going to clean him up. Onkaya dominating him. And that's just basically opened the door for Sweden to play upon their advantage here, because they've lost pretty much their entire team.
Yeah, they definitely have to do it. They should probably just retreat with their demo man and their medic right now. Make sure that they don't get flanked and lose their medic, and then they can just push back in onto middle once they get the respawn. But they've actually opted to be really far forward, and as a result, there's going to be a scout onto the medic. Classy being just pressured so hard. He's so weak, but they barely survives. And Smear just cleaning up. Wow, Smear with the 3K on the stickies. So that worked out. I thought it was a bit too aggressive, but you know, what do I know? You know, when your medic just gets out barely with the skin of his teeth, and then you just have the best demo man in the server just cleaning up instead. But it worked out.
Smear just kind of being the guy there, being like, you guys can deal with that scout trying to kill our medic, right? Yeah, I'm just going to kill half the team. That's fine. You do you, I do me, you know.
Right.
It's a huge advantage now for Classy. Actually, only about 20%, not as big as I thought, but let's not forget, is running that crits creek, so have to be careful. Nakari on sniper and Boshi on spy, so double assassin class.
Oh, he's coming out to
Boshi.
Oh, almost gets the demo man as well, but perfect timing there by Boshi. Takes down the medic, and now it's actually just a massive crit streak advantage as well. And that's just going to be really easy to hold last with, but it can also be a kind of an unwieldy thing to use this. Like, when do you use your crit streak? You don't want to use it, but now you're losing everyone, and he still hasn't used it. You use it! Oh, there we go, finally gonna use this crit streak. And they've lost basically everyone before they did that, so it's going to be actually difficult to push out here, I think, just because respawns are going to come in and complicate things and threaten to back up. But yeah, pretty good job there by Sweden to eventually just force out the crit streak at least.
Yeah, I mean, Sweden actually probably not going to be able to hold on to second here. As D-Toad has started to put some pressure forward here. Ukraine are out. Boshi with the jump, just trying to make some space, but no one. Kai is in from behind, trying to get some damage down. D-Toad does take him down, but Boshi gets cleaned up. Sui goes down. So Ukraine with the man advantage, but can they take this space? Sweden still in control of second. There is a crits advantage here because of all that went on last. There is an advantage, and watching D-Toad here, he's got to be ready to pop some crit stickies through that doorway. Can he land up? No, he gets taken up with a sticky trap. There's going to be a crit scouting scared Muku. Beef in the shot's going to get any damage down. Smira just tanking, does not care. Lands the pipes, and Sweden just somehow come out on top of that.
Yeah, and even though there was even like a scout behind Nakari, he was behind the entire time and actually out DM a soldier as well, but the Uber has come in here for Sweden. They're just going to push forward. See, can they get the mech? They can. Oh, not quite close enough to spawn. Sweden, they play the point. Just push everyone off. There's actually a single scout onto it that just stayed alive forever, but clean push there from Sweden. Just pushed onto the point, made everyone just dive onto it and then just executed them. So good push in here by Sweden. It was pretty messy. And it was just basically the DM that won out there for them, and then that enabled them to take the round. But they've really struggled on these middle, so let's see what they do to actually just adapt here on this middle to what is happening. Last time around, they pushed Ukraine into a bad position, but then they eventually lost out. But let's see what they do this time.
Yeah, just wait to see what these soldiers do, because, you know, the aggressive soldiers haven't been working out for either side. Boshi going forward and just gets destroyed by Vildrak, and Alba. Onkai is going to go for a jump now and synchronizes with Alba. Decent damage going down. Nakari is going to get slammed into the wall there, but there's a lot of weak players on the side of Sweden. Have to be careful. 3 down for Ukraine. Vildrak just getting aggressive. Swede following up. It's going to be crits from Ukraine.
He has the crits.
And they've got Muku. Oh, takes down Swede. They could win this.
Yeah, they pop this crit streak, and they do get classy, actually. There's a single scout, but these shotguns do so much damage. And looks like Muku's just going to go, nah, I don't care about you, Scout. We're just going to go back. And yeah, just running the crit streak there actually won in the middle just because they got the charge faster. So Sweden, they continue to struggle. They were a lot more passive on this middle, I think, than the other times where they would try to send the soldiers behind, maybe even like 2 soldiers behind. This time around, they played it a lot more passive and tried to stay together more, and it kind of worked. But then the crit streak just kicked in earlier than the Uber did.
Yeah, that's the thing. As long as your med survives when you're running crit streak on a mid fight, stays alive, backs out. As soon as you get that crits, you're going to have it before the enemy team has Uber. So Ukraine with a bit of a chance to maybe get a foothold into this map. Haven't had a point on the board as yet, but they're going to be pushing this second point with a huge advantage once again. But look at Sweden. They have a sniper up. It's going to be Swede watching that cross. The soldiers are getting aggressive. They're flying through the air. Oh, goes down. That is removing the crits. Look at them go! Onkaya, Alba, flying through the air, just landing the damage down and just nullifying anything that comes through that doorway, and it's just falling apart here for Ukraine, despite having...
Oh,
you know,
they get Smear though. That's a nice pick off, and might even get Onkaya. No, Onkaya will survive, but only barely. So quite a lot of players did go down here for Sweden at the very tail end of that, but it should definitely be easy to do it. And we've seen Akari on Engineer. Okay, I thought it was a little bit early. I thought he was like maybe already.
Oh, sweet!
Oh, sweet! Just walks forward and snipes down the medic. Great job by him. But now it's just gonna be everyone stay around Classy. Just protect him. Protect him.
Yeah, obviously the Uber advantage wasn't big enough for his liking. Just wanted to remove the med from the field entirely. But Boshi has respawned on the Spy, so he's actually really close to the combo. Can he get another med pick here? He's and he takes out Smira. That's a decent pick, and he's actually stayed alive. So 4v4 now, but still an Uber in play for Sweden.
They just continue to bleed players, but they've actually traded really evenly. The only unfortunate thing here is that they didn't manage to wrest the Uber out of Classy's hands, so he's going to continue to hold on to that. But Sweden, they need to wait for some respawners to come in here before they can do a proper Uber push. But that's going to mean that O's going to have a chance to build his own Uber, or is he still on Crit Creek? No, he's actually on Uber this time around. How weird. It's we almost never see this, but yeah, it's going to take a little bit longer, and then at that point, if they just kite the Uber long enough, it will actually be possible for them to gain the Uber back themselves. So this is all about Sweden. Like, they have to be fast, but they don't have to be too fast either. It's a bit of a balance act that they're in here.
Oh, this is not looking good for Ukraine. Okay,
nice.
It's looking really good for Ukraine. I was going to say they're holding so far forward that Sweden could just Uber in, but now they've got forced. They're in an awful position. Sweet and Classy though, they're going underneath. They're going to go for a back cap. They need to get the frags here though, using this Uber. The Uber's wearing off, and Classy surfs away. Great surf, but Ihor with that fadeaway rocket is going to get it. Does somehow get the force onto Ukraine, who've used their Uber, but
yeah,
great picks there.
Yeah, I couldn't see it. I think it was just
I'm not sure why. I mean, Sweden, I think they're just going to push in here. Look at Alba. He's in. He's in on the medic. Oh no!
He did a ton of damage, but not enough there. But yeah, I'm pretty
sure
sure
there is within one rocket of dying. Like everyone else, one more rocket onto that from somewhere else, and everyone there, those three players would be dead. So that's unfortunate from Sweden. But yeah, Ukraine putting up a decent fight here. They're pushing out, and they're going to recapture second with the Uber advantage.
So he's hiding underneath. He's just kind of waiting for the medic to walk out here onto grass, I think. But you know, looks like O's not gonna abide by that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure O just saw like, oh, they Ubered in, and there's some players. I should just Uber myself. It's not like anyone was really under pressure. So a bit of a poor Uber use there. So Ukraine, they have a tiny advantage, and they've blown a banner, so they could just run in here super Saiyan fast. Sweden, they need to be careful they don't get caught. But there's a sticky trap that nobody has spotted. Okay, they're actually just going to Uber.
Yeah, it's going to have to be used here. 99% for Classy though. What's he going to do? Needs to, there we go, regroups finally with Viljak, and there's a couple of frags coming in from Alba, takes down both scouts, eliminates them out of the game. Smira comes in with some decent damage. Well, 2 kills. Just casually walks in with 2 kills, adding some more to his logs, and oh, Alba!
Just comes down from the sky. Just, I don't know where he came from. He's
killed half the team in that push. Yeah. Half the team.
Great job here by Alba taking down the medic. That's going to definitely make this Uber push in them. There's just like a super early pop here as well. They don't want to lose anyone on entrance. Going to play the point immediately and just cap it out. Good push in there. I really like when people just like preemptively use their Ubers like this in like the right situations. Like it can be really powerful because there's basically nothing that can go wrong, right? Like if there's like almost nothing that can go wrong, you should probably just use the Uber, because then you eliminate like another percentage of things that could go wrong. So yeah, good job there, good Uber use, and now it's going to be another middle. Let's see if Sweden can actually win a middle for once, or if there's just going to be another Ukraine mid.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Again, I'm going to be watching these soldiers to see what they do to try and be effective. Onkaya getting some decent damage onto Boshi, so Boshi's not going to be able to initiate anything here, but Igor does go down to Sui. Nakari finishes off on Kaya, and Alba's also gone down, so again, no soldiers for the side of Sweden, and no soldiers for the side of Ukraine. They just cannot get across the point and do anything. It's up to the scouts now, and Ukraine have total control of the middle point, but Smear's coming behind, flanking Demo, gets some sticks behind. They're getting pressured around the point. They cannot find a safe space. Sui and Viljak are just pressuring down D-Toad and O, and they're going to finish them off. Smira trades his life for it, and Muku's actually going to try and sneak around. It's not going to be enough, though. Great play there by Smira just to get behind the point and just kind of sticky them off. They couldn't back out, and Viljak and Sui just hammered them down just repeatedly.
They actually got all the kills on that middle, the two Swedish scouts. They got all of the kills. They got a 3k each, and it was just really those guys that cleaned up. The Swedish soldiers, as you said, just really struggled to make it across point. They're not sending them behind anymore. But oh my god, Onkai will find the enemy med again. Like, oh, he's been caught out so many times this game, it feels. I don't know if it's because he himself is actually a spy behind the medic. Oh, Classy actually just randomly jukes him, and he will survive it. Boshi gets him down to half health, and now it's only 2 alive here for Ukraine. And yeah, there we go. Just another preemptive move where actually saves Smear. It just flies across the map. So much time onto the point, but oh my god, they just lost everyone. And the medic caps! What? He just stood on it. Alright. Wow, just triple hams to end the game. That's a good way to end the game, I think. 5-0 for Sweden. They will move on to the next round, facing off whoever wins, whoever is playing.
It's France versus Russia is the other kind of last 16. So should be a pretty strong quarterfinal, regardless of whoever they come up against. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. That just seemed like Sweden decided to concentrate throughout the game that time. You know, Ukraine put up a really good fight. Actually. There were opportunities for them to get rounds on the board, but running the crits, there's always that risk that, you know, if you put pressure on them, it's very difficult to survive. Because, you know, they were taking out Nakari quite a lot, and when there was no scout to deny those bombers, Alba and Onkaya were just running riot, just landing on D-Toad, landing on O, just destroying them, and the crits could never really be that effective. There were some great crits from Ukraine, and that did open the doors for them a few times, but, you know, the rest of the time, Sweden just seemed to be in control throughout the game. And I guess you can see why they picked this map, but pretty dominating all round. I'm going to try and get the logs up now. Have you got them in front of you, Bia?
Yep. I very much do, and again, it is Smear the top damage, which is the most important part, but it's not by a whole lot. And you can actually see Sui having the second most damage, like 1 damage per minute less, and he has 24 kills and 11 deaths. So that is some really good performance there from your scout. That's what you want to see. Also, Viljak has 18-8. Just everyone on Sweden were really good at staying alive. I think Classy maybe died 1 time too many or something, but yeah, just still, he died half as many times as O did. So it was just overall a really strong team effort here from Sweden, and they just got themselves together. Maybe it was because we didn't see all these weird off classes from Ukraine all of a sudden. You know, it was a pretty standard gig from them as well.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes if you do throw in the off classes, it brings a bit of a surprise. We saw Boshi on the Spire a couple of times. He did get backstabbed. You know, he got one onto Smear, he got one onto Classy. I think it was a drop, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
So, you know, when they did bring out those off classes, it did work. Like Nakari was on the sniper, Muku was on the sniper at times. And, you know, there was that moment where they were holding last, where they had everyone really far forward, even though they had an uber disadvantage, but because of those pick classes, they managed to get 3 kills and be able to push out from their own last. So, yeah, I think when they mixed it up a bit, it did catch Sweden out, but when it stuck to, you know, the default cookie cutter classes, you know, Sweden just kind of showed that they had that extra maybe edge of class in the end. You know, the Ubers look kind of equal when you look at it. You know, there's 8 crit screeds coming out of O and two Ubers, whereas it's just 8 Ubers from Classy. So a lot of crit screeds happening, but, you know, because that charge is faster, they were popping them off and not always getting a lot done. So, yeah, I mean, I think Ukraine should be proud that they managed to get this far, but when you're coming up against a team with experienced players like this, you know, Smira, Onkaya, Alba, who've been around in the game for such a long time, and Sui and Viljak are players that are kind of coming through. doing well in their respective teams.
Yeah. Oh wow! Look at that. They never even made it onto Sweden's side of the map.
Okay.
They never kept that.
So yeah, I mean that's kind of dominating. Yeah.
And an 83% conversion rate. So, like, you can definitely see that this was a completely different game from the first map. But yeah, as you said, it was pretty close in a lot of the fights, and I definitely feel like Ukraine they can walk away with this with their heads held high. It was all pretty good play by them. I feel it was just a little bit too much DMN experience going up against them. So it's fine.
Yeah, it's those little mistakes that get punished in the end, and if you're at this level playing against players of this caliber, you make a mistake, it will get punished, and they will convert around for it. It's very hard to bounce back from that, but that's enough from us, I believe. This was Sweden versus Ukraine. Sweden winning both maps, 6-1 on Gullywasher, 5-0 on Snakewater. So Ukraine are out of the Nations Cup for 2018. Sweden will be moving on to face the winners of France versus Russia. And I do believe that's enough from me and Beta. We'll be leaving you now while having two different casters who will be joining for another map, or another match, I should say, in 15 minutes time or so. We'll be having a 1 hour 15. You got plenty of time. Go get a snack. Go get a drink or a meal, or have a nap. And it's going to be Italy versus have a nap. I mean, you can have a nap in between watching TF2. It can be exhausting, right? It's
sure, a game or nap.
Tiring. A game, yeah, a cheeky power nap. You've watched an intense Sweden versus Ukraine game. Cheeky power nap, and then you'll be back in about an hour's time for Czech Republic versus Italy. Czech Republic finished second in their group, I believe, runners up to Israel, whereas Italy won their group. So Italy maybe have a slight advantage going into that game, but definitely some high-profile gamers, some top-prem gamers on both teams. Adam Racecar, I believe, is back for the Czech Republic.
Yep.
Whereas Sorex, who last night almost beat Seven for Faint Gaming. That was a very close game in the cup last night. So yeah, should definitely be one to watch. So Beta, I'm going to leave you to give any last words before we disappear.
Yeah, sure. I just want to point out that there's also going to be a game on TF2 at the same time. That will be casted by Ombrek and Epoli. And then there will of course also be Czech Republic versus Italy, which will be Grumpy Koi and Domedo. So definitely check out both of those games. They should be really good. It's always fun to have these Nation Cup games, unless your team loses when they shouldn't. Not salty at all. But but anyway, it's been a pleasure casting with you, CeeJaey, as always. And big shout out to Wiethoofd, who's just going to soldier on here. He should probably do a power nap at this point, to be honest, because he's going to continue to stream. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Take us out, CeeJaey.
Yeah, thanks for watching us, guys. See you in about an hour's time. And have a great night.
Hi, old beaver! Away!